Do you know your consumer rights when buying bullion coins? I kind of sound like Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad at the moment. You have rights! Well, you do and you don't when buying bullion coins. So in today's video, I want to do a bit of a deep dive into what those rights might be and also some tips, hints and tricks on staying safe when buying bullion. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here and welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble. Today I'm going to talk about some top hints, tips and tricks for keeping safe when buying, and also talk a little bit about consumer rights, because when you're buying bullion grade precious metals, and that's an interesting distinction between bullion and proof, and we'll get to that in the video, you don't have as many consumer rights as you might expect. Now that will vary country to country, and we'll go through a little bit of what I know and understand, but it's not financial advice. But it is interesting and something that you should think about, because it does have an impact on, when you take delivery of your gold and silver, what rights you have, what you can do. So that said, let's dive into this box of shiny things that I've got here. It's my YouTube box. It's the just little, well, tray slash box that I've been chucking silver in every time I've filmed with it over the last couple of months. So I thought I'd go through it and we'll see what we've accumulated and are looking at. So first up, the big thing here, consumer rights. Let's start with that. Not a lot of people know that, certainly here in the UK and the EU, and I think America as well, if you buy bullion products, something that is priced based on fluctuating market prices. So of course bullion goes up and down. Most dealer websites will do this. You don't have the right to cancel your order. So if you place that order, technically speaking, you don't have the right to cancel it. It is at the discretion of the retailer, and they can technically charge you a cancellation fee. They can do whatever they want in that situation. Whether they would ever enforce those kind of things is another different thing. I know from my own personal experience selling bullion that if I have, and I have had a few people place orders and then just come to me and say, sorry, I placed that one by mistake. If it sounds genuine, like if it's a customer I've worked with before and they've just placed something by mistake, I am absolutely fine just to cancel it. And you'll find that 99% of retailers out there are absolutely fine. But if you place an order and then a week later you think, oh, well, I'm still within a 14-day cooling off or 28-day cooling off or whatever it is, and you think, do you know what, I've changed my mind, I'm going to cancel that. That's not on. That's different to just cancelling because you've made a mistaken order within a few hours or minutes. And dealers don't like that at all, because of course they have, you know, whether they've got it in stock and they've shipped immediately, that's another argument for another day, but they will have their own cash flow and cash flow issues, and they will be then of course sending products out or buying in new products with the cash that you've given them, and it's very, very annoying to have to deal with. And I've had to deal with similar things before in the past, and just explain quite frankly to people, unfortunately there is no right to cancel. So yeah, and also there's no right to immediately kind of return. Now if something comes and it's bullion and it's really, really bad, like it's stupidly damaged, or if it's fake, for example, of course, then you have rights there to get it cancelled and returned and everything. But if it comes and it's just the old, and this is where we get the old adage of it's just bullion, and if it is just bullion and the dealers have sent you basically the bullion coins and that's the standard that they're at, then you really are a little bit up the poo creek without a paddle, so to speak. It's at the discretion of dealers whether or not they will exchange things. Now, I've seen quite a lot of people who have had really bad milky coins come from dealers, and they've just gone in touch with the dealer. And I think if you do it correctly, if you do it politely, if you understand the perspective of the dealers as well, they don't always, there are some that will go to extra lengths to try and replace coins which are not good, but generally speaking all those sales are final, so that is what it is. And you'll find that's also the case for most of the big mints out there as well. Bullion coins, if you get a really, really bad bullion coin from places like the Raw Mint, like something like this one here, I think this one's got a milk spot somewhere, probably does, but if you found a milk spot on this particular coin, then you would not be able to get your money back. You'd not be able to return it unless you got an incredibly generous and friendly customer service agent at the Raw Mint. So it is what it is. However, there are some bits of gold and silver out there in this world which are covered under trading regulations, and you do have the right to cancel and the right to return, and those are proof coins. Now these are of course made of silver and gold, and there is an argument there that they could be priced based on market fluctuations, but they're not. You don't see a proof coin on the Royal Mint's website fluctuating by a penny up and down here and there every minute because of spot price. It's priced at a certain price and people buy it. And as such, you have the right to cancel it, to just return it. And that's one thing that I've always said, it's a bit of a dangerous loophole for the Royal Mint in a way, because they could have people, and I've done it, but for legitimate reasons, but people could buy coins from the Royal Mint, review them, and then send them back for a full refund. All you'd be out of pocket is the cost of the coin over that particular period that it took to arrive, and then return and refund. And you could make a channel reviewing the best coins that the Royal Mint has ever made, the kilo gold coins if you had enough cash flow, and not ever actually have to own one and buy one, which is a definite thought that I have thought about myself. Now, it's, again, a little bit morally grey to do that, because you're really kind of messing with their business model, taking advantage of that consumer right. But generally speaking, for a proof coin, if you buy it, you get it, it doesn't look very good, you don't like it, you do have the right to send it back for a full refund. It's within a 14-day period, I believe, and there are a whole host of other parts of the trading standards and trading regulations, distance selling regulations, those kind of things. I'm not giving formal advice here, remember, I'm just talking a little bit about those elements that you might want to consider when buying. Now, there are other ways to keep safe online, and some people feel like the best thing you can do is buy with a credit card, but be aware that there are credit card companies out there that will that if you buy precious metals with them, they will charge you the full kind of cash withdrawal fees and interest. And that's, of course, not great. That's a lot of potential interest and fees on a credit card. And yes, you'll get protected from, credit cards are one of the best things to use for protection in terms of that, that sort of consumer rights. You really do get a great deal of protection. But debit cards also give a great deal as well. And there are debit cards out there that give really great protection and also cash back too these days. So definitely worth thinking about that. Now, the other thing is that in most cases in the US, if you pay by credit or debit card, you have to pay more than if you didn't. Now, here in the UK, if you did not know, you are not allowed as a retailer to offer an item out at a different price based on the payment method. So that's why we don't see dealers here in the UK saying you can buy this Britannia for £28 if you pay by credit card, but £27.50 if you pay by bank transfer. That is actually still applicable even down to small traders like myself, and also individuals out there as well. You are not allowed to say on a trade listing, for example, PayPal goods and services with an extra 5% on top, etc. So it is a little bit of a grey area for a lot of sellers, and I've seen it done quite a lot on various social media. But it's about enforcement, really. Are people going to enforce that? Probably not. But that's one of the things that you don't necessarily have here in the United Kingdom. You still have your consumer rights. It's just more difficult to get your money out if you pay by bank transfer to a big organisation. They might just ignore you and never get your cash out. And then how do you do it? You have to take them to small claims court potentially, and that's expensive and not potentially very fulfilling. So credit cards companies, that's what they're there for. Debit card companies and banks, that's what they're there for. So there are definite ways to protect yourself if you are looking to buy with those kind of methods. That said, I would always say that if you are using a seller or a company that you've known very long time, and you're doing a lot of business with them, and they're working well for you, getting the coins, and they're all good, have a think about paying via things like bank transfers rather than credit and debit card, because credit and debit cards can charge up to 3 or 4%, even higher for certain cards, which is just mad, and it really does make a huge difference on margins for dealers. And as I said, dealers can't charge more, so they have to take that hit for payment processing. And sometimes it's worth it for the ease of just taking that payment through, job done, money in the bank through the credit card company, rather than having to deal with finding the payment that you've made through the bank's transfers and everything. But sometimes it's worth paying by bank's transfer. So That's, I think, the biggest bunch of tips I've got in terms of like paying and buying. Just be really careful of the credit card. I think I've had a few emails from various people saying that they bought coins from the raw mint and on a credit card, and with the full intention of just earning some cash back from their credit card company and then paying off the credit immediately so you don't pay interest. But then they got hit with the cash withdrawal fees, and that just sucks, really, quite frankly. So, yeah. Definitely worth thinking about how you go about paying. What I would say is you don't necessarily want to just go and buy everything with bank transfers. It's always worth maybe doing like the first one if it's a new company through credit card, even if it would be the cash withdrawal, just to make sure everything's okay. But yeah. But the biggest thing I think to take away from this video is that things like bullion coins, you don't really have as many rights as other people or other items that you buy off the internet. So just be careful on that. Understand what you're buying. If you're buying from a dealer, you'll have probably a little bit more of an option than others. But if you're buying, for example, from a small trader, somebody who's not particularly of a big company, there are a lot of cowboys out there. There really are a lot of cowboys out there. A lot of people with very scrupulous morals as well. So just be careful, I guess, is my ultimate message. So that's it from me. Thank you one and all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the just emptying of this basket worth of silver. Oh gosh, look, I've even got a gold gilded lion in there. So yeah, thanks all. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks all for watching to the end. If you have, you are in the cool kids club, the Backyard Bullion Ramblers. Hopefully today I have remembered to edit my video properly. Thank you to everyone who pointed that out politely. You would be amazed that there were quite a few really trolly comments that I had to end up just deleting and banning those people from my channel. Not long-term members or anything, but just idiots who were like, you've made a mistake on your editing and you're crap and you should be more conscious and less sloppy and all of this. And it's like, I've done 1,490 odd videos and I make one video that's a bit crap with its editing, and you're saying this? Sure. You know, the guys of you who just let me know, great, that means I can fix bits of it that I could fix. I can't take the music out of it, but for example, right at the very start of the video, I just edited out that little bit of me going, testing microphone, 1, 2, 3. But it's a little insight into how I do it, because the microphone that I've got is a very good microphone. It picks up a lot of the background noise, and if I just stay quiet for like 20 seconds, it will pick up all the noise, and then I'll start talking again, you'll hear the difference. So you are a true rambler if you listen to this little bit of quietness. So now you can probably tell, like, the voice is awful, so I have to talk for like a few seconds, 5, 6, 7 seconds, going testing microphone 1, 2, 3, testing microphone 1, 2, 3. And then I can start talking when I have a little pause, and it's fine. It's modulated down to the tone of my voice. It's got the right directions and everything. It's a very clever microphone, but it is annoying that way. My old microphones never had to do that. So, but sometimes it's a bit difficult to remember exactly. If I've put cuts in videos, for example, where I'm doing the sponsored spots, it can be a bit difficult to remember where I've done those. And the music clips that I embed into the video as well. It can. I'm boring you all to death, I can tell. But if anybody has watched that little bit and understands my woes, then just let me know in the comments. It would be great to hear from you. I love my Backyard Bullion Ramblers when they stick to the end. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time for In Focus Friday. That's on Friday. I don't know what I'm doing it on yet. I'll probably find something pretty cool, but wait for then. Thanks all. We'll see you on the next video, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.